Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes on what's going to be a very nice Wednesday. We've got blue skies and sunshine. And even though we do have a new high that is built in and temperatures are going to be a bit on the chilly side, still not bad. Highs will reach up into the low and mid 50s, but you start going north and west into northeastern Pennsylvania and on up into the Hudson Valley, and you're looking at highs mostly in the upper 40s. You head down to south central Pennsylvania, north central Maryland, and over into northeast Virginia. You have also highs in the low to mid 50s. So overall, it's a good day. I think we'll see sunshine pretty much right through the day with nothing more than a couple of passing clouds. And that's really the most we have to worry about. Now, the next weather system is going to be making its approach. And when we look at the surface map, we've got our high pressure center in southern Ohio. That's going to be heading out to the east. But we're starting to see this frontal boundary. You can call it an Arctic boundary. You can call it a polar boundary. Either way, there is a cold high that is coming down behind it. And this is going to bring precipitation to us on Thursday, later Thursday into Thursday evening. It's going to be mostly a rain affair for the vast majority of us from northeastern Pennsylvania, from northeastern Virginia to southern New England. But this is a pretty chilly high that's coming down, and that will bring in very cold air for Friday and Saturday. We're going to be dealing with wind chills in the teens and 20s, temperatures that are going to be in the 30s to at best low 40s. And of course, at night, we'll be down in the 20s and even the teens. So if you haven't had a hard freeze yet, it is coming for Friday night and for Saturday morning. The satellite view this morning is showing us nice and clear. You can see we've got some cloud cover that is streaming across the northern plains through the western Great Lakes. We've got a little bit of tropical moisture here that is coming up from the southwest, but we don't have well-defined streams of moisture here like we saw back in the last couple of weeks with some of these storms that we've been dealing with. It's just not really overly impressive here. So I'm not really expecting very much to happen with respect to the weather system for tomorrow. So let's look at the snowfall forecast map for this particular event. It's going to be primarily for inland areas. So if you're in upstate New York, if you are into central and northern New England, you will see some snow out of this. Now, the southern area, the southernmost line of where you might see a coating to at most an inch, and it'll be elevation driven to an extent. You can see how the Weather Service has it lined up. And I have to tell you, if this was something that was going to be a bit more serious, you would know it, because at this point they would have some sort of advisory. They would have pre-issued an advisory or a winter storm watch. For even all the way up to upstate New York and New England, you're not seeing that. So for the vast majority of you, northeast Virginia to southern New England, you won't see a flake or an ice pellet. You start to go inland, you'll pick up some snows. But here we're talking about basically 1 to 3, 1 to 4 inch snows. The numbers get a bit higher as you head up into northeastern New York and on up into northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and of course in Maine, where it just snows. But this is an underwhelming event in my view. So looking at how the models are playing this out, so obviously no problems for the rest of today. We will see no problems for tonight, and then you start to see this frontal boundary set up with a bit of a wave that develops and moves along it. It's got the rain coming in maybe a little bit faster. By tomorrow afternoon, it's on the doorstep of New York City, and not quite there, but almost there to Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Philadelphia. We'll get into about a 6-hour period of precip. And you notice on this particular run of the GFS, the changeover to snow on the northwest side is minimal. That's probably underdone. Then it moves out, and then we have this high building in with very, very cold air behind it, relative to this time of year, by the way, when I say very cold air. But you have a fairly tight pressure gradient, so gusty winds, 30 miles an hour or more, ineffective sunshine for Friday. And then as far as the weekend is concerned, I think we're fine. Saturday, we'll have a cold day with sun. Highs will be just in the upper 30s and low 40s for most folks. And then we'll probably bounce up on Sunday, heading back into the upper 40s and lower 50s as the high moves out to the east. And then we wait for the next frontal boundary, which will bring about its complications weather-wise, perhaps around Tuesday or Wednesday next week. We will be talking about that going forward. Just one last thing, the high temperatures. I just want to give you a flavor for how cold it is going to get. So when we look at the low temperatures, well, first off, let's look at the high temperatures for Friday, and this is during the day. So we're seeing high temperatures that are going to be in the upper 30s and low 40s for Friday. For Saturday, also mostly around or just over 40, upper 30s to low 40s in the colder inland areas. And then on Sunday, we bounce up back up to the low and maybe even some middle 50s as you go south and west. And with respect to the overnight lows, by Friday morning, we're looking at temperatures that are going to be down. It's going to get cold rather quickly late Thursday night into Friday morning. We're seeing lows upper 20s to mid 30s, and that's why temperatures are not going to go anywhere. And then Friday night into Saturday morning, very cold temperatures as we're looking at lows just about everywhere in the 20s, and in the coldest spots will be down in the teens. So that wraps it up today for Weather in 5. Let's just very quickly, let me remind you that download my free weather app on Google Play or on the App Store, the meteorologist Joe Cioffi weather app. Also, download Angry Ben's weather app, the Angry Weatherman, which is available on Google Play. So you'll have 2 free weather apps from me. If you are interested in a more complete weather experience, particularly if weather is part of your decision-making process every day and you need somebody to give you a hand with that, subscribe to my Patreon platform, which is just $2 a month to start, and there are higher tiers available for those of you who really need some serious hand-holding. You're a snow removal guy, you depend on winter weather for your livelihood. More than happy to give you a hand here. So that's my Patreon platform at patreon.com, meteorologist Joe Cioffi. And if you download the weather app, you can watch my YouTube channel on the weather app. And you can also watch Weather in 5 on the weather app if you can't reach to get it on Facebook or anywhere else. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is just Joe Cioffi. And you will get set your notifications so that when we do the Joe and Joe Weather Show with my colleague Joe Rayo, and when we do that, you can watch it live. And my regular YouTube show is at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And we have a Sunday morning weather show at 10 o'clock, so you can have your Sunday morning coffee with me and get your latest on what's going on weather-wise. So that's my YouTube channel, Joe Cioffi. Everybody have a great day. And we'll see you tonight on YouTube at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.